I'm hearing you can't stay there. You can't stay there. This is gonna be a short message. God said you can't stay there, my baby. You cannot sit there. I know most of you are on your way to church, but for those who are not on their way to church, you gotta. Whew, that's why I said this is not gonna be a long live. This is just gonna be something straight to the point, okay? You can't stay there. As much as you want to sit in this energy of feeling down, you keep like you for 1 minute you're happy, right? Everything is going well. Everything is good. You know what I'm saying? You can stay there. You can stay in that space. When something not going your way, or you want to get into this energy of feeling like you I know you got to feel the shift of your energy from being high to going low. But you so because when you vibing so high and when you're so happy, when things is going great, it takes a lot of energy out of you to go down low. God is high vibrational. You are high vibrational. All the love you carry that is from God is high vibrational, positive. You've been operating out of this positive energy. It takes a whole lot just to shift down, just like it takes a whole lot of muscles in your face to bring all your muscles down when you sad. It takes too many muscles in your face, which causes wrinkles. Okay, when your forehead is tight, you see how you when you smile, it pulls together, it tightens up. But if you frowning and sad, you get wrinkles everywhere. It take too many muscles to frown. Stay high vibrational. Keep God close. Thank you, God, for confirmation. You cannot sit in the energy of trying to feel bad for yourself. You cannot sit in the energy. First of all, it takes too much to bring you down. So whenever you feel yourself shifting from you being very happy to you trying to get this like something trying to pull you down to feel low, you got to switch it. I don't care what's going wrong. Stay in the energy of being happy, joyful, graceful. The Bible says, but we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that the surpassing power belongs to God and not us. That's why you got to keep your mind on God. Thank you, Knee Double. That's why you got to stay positive. That's why you got to lean towards God because God is going to give you that hope you need. It say, for we know that if the tent that is our earthly home is destroyed, we have a building from God, a house not made with hands, external in the heaven. You ain't got to worry about your strength, of your human power, of your effort. You don't got to worry about that. You don't have to focus on that. When your spirit is built up so strong and so tough, the devil can't bring you down. It's hard to bring you down. You got to run to God. This is Sunday. Most church happens on Sunday. Everybody know the Sabbath day is the holy day. But go to church. If you're being called to go to church, go to church. Because there's something you need there that you can't get from yourself. And if you can't go to church, God is just preparing you for the next step to show you something that can help build you up in the ways that need to be needed for and built up for you. The way I'm seeing it, the way I'm getting these words, I'm trying to make sure, not even so much as doing too much, not even trying to like force the message. It ain't even so much as forcing the message. It's another way of how you are operating, but it's another way that God trying to show you and teach you. I'm just trying to help you be able to get an idea on what it is that you are going through, like what you're feeling, just by what God is dropping in my spirit for you to see it in the ways that I'm seeing it. You don't understand how powerful you are. If you're not good, nobody's going to be good. You got people who need you. You can be so strong for other people, but you got to remember it's very important that you stay uplifted. It's very important that you continue the good fight for yourself. You got people who need you, regardless if they even understand that they don't need you. You got a duty to fulfill that God needs you to fulfill. You got a family to take care of. You got responsibilities, of course, to get to, but not for the factor of draining you, of making you sad, depleting you. First of all, God will take you through a season where you're getting prepared for something greater than what you're experiencing. This time right here is just only for you to sit in, because if you get and move into the next step and you ain't even finished up all the lessons beforehand, you gonna tear that next blessing up. That next blessing gonna be toe up. You ain't gonna be able to hold on to that too long. You ain't gonna be able to see you're not gonna be able to appreciate or have gratitude for what it is that God is building. And he ain't gonna put you and set you up for failure. The devil do that. The devil sets you up for failure. God prosper you all the days of your life. He want to make sure you doing good. Good for him. And now behold, I'm going to Jerusalem, constrained by the Spirit, not knowing what will happen to me there. If you have faith and going to the next step, if you trust God, you're gonna know you all right. If you trust God like you say you do, you ain't got to worry about nothing not being taken care of. You ain't got to worry about nothing. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Your bills, you ain't got to worry about your kids. If you did the best you can, there's nothing else you can do. You don't need to be sitting in the energy of something that ain't going your way because your boyfriend gone or somebody don't want you, or you don't need to sit in that energy. And if you lost a loved one, I truly am sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for your loss. But now is not the time for you to sit up here and beat yourself up for something you can't control. And then you pushing everybody away in the process. Like, no, that's not something that you do. That's not something you do. You're going to miss out on a whole blessing. Don't miss out on the blessing. Mm. Don't allow the devil to blind you and rob you of your next blessing that God has already showed you. Because that's that's what's gonna happen. If you too busy focusing on, of course, focus on yourself. Of course, focus on yourself. But don't be so blinded by the devil's tactic by putting fear in you, or you overthinking and thinking too much. Stop thinking so much. Stop thinking so much. Stop overthinking so much. Think, but stop overthinking so much. Stop thinking that you're not enough, or stop thinking that you don't have enough. Stop thinking that you don't know what to do. Like, and then if you caught up on something that happened that's out of your control and you didn't already tried, that is the tactic of the devil to hold you back from something that God is trying to prepare you for or have already prepared you for. Don't stay stuck in something. Let it go. Let it go. You gotta let it go. Don't stay stuck on what you can't do or what you don't sit up there and replay it in your mind. Or I should have did, or I could have did this, or maybe I need to do this. Like, no. The devil is so crafty at trying to get and tear up things. Like, he will put blinders on you and make you feel some type of way. Don't let him do that to you. Don't let him do that to you. I'm talking about look, Teresa, okay? I'm telling you, like, he is so sneaky, man. I can't stand him. Like, I really can't. Because he'll sit up there, like, God will be giving you a whole blessing. Like, man, it could have been good, could have been sweet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have, it's definitely there to help prosper you and grow you up. You know, he ain't saying that it was gonna be perfect, but that ain't something you gotta worry about. You ain't gotta worry about it. You ain't gotta worry about the ins and outs. You know what I'm saying? All you need to know is that it's for you, to help prosper you, to help you grow. You know what I'm saying? And here come the devil with his demonic demons, throwing up fear, or putting in or causing headaches, or um causing havoc. You know what I'm saying? Have you wondering and thinking about stuff that you ain't need to not even worry about, that before God even revealed the blessing to you. Like, man, that's just crazy. I can't stand the devil, man. Can't stand him. And I say that because, man, what the whole time you sit up here not thinking. I mean, just the whole time you sit up here just going about life, and the whole time you going about life and you're not really in tune with the spiritual side of things, because it's a repetitive thing. When things is good, you don't notice. When things go bad or is in the process of going bad, that's when you notice everything. So how do you stay good? By focusing on God. How do you stay good? By raising your vibration. By thinking about stuff that's going right. By thinking about stuff that you can change versus stuff you can't. Once you acknowledge what the problem is, you go over it the one or two times, maybe a couple times or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You go over it and you realize, like, man, okay. You get a moment to grieve. You get a moment to have or experience grief. You get a moment to sit up there and acknowledge it. You get a moment to sit back to reflect. You get a moment. You get a moment to evaluate what's going on in the midst of. You get a moment. And in that moment, you have the power to determine if you're going to stay happy or dwell and bring in more sadness. How you doing? Hello, hello, hello. I don't care about nothing you talking about, Avery, Amir, or Murray. What does that have to do with anything that I'm talking about right now? Where is it? Right here. You coming over here talking about something that ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. You can't stay there. God is on the other end. All right, let's get you off my channel. See, when you notice a problem, you got to get rid of that problem if you can get rid of it. If you can get rid of it, then get rid of it. If you can't, don't worry about it. Let God handle it. It's take too much out of you to do too much. It's just taking too much up out of you just to be focusing on stuff that you can't do nothing about. You see how I just got rid of that problem? I'm not worried about it no more. It's not a problem to me no more. You got to learn how to be able to get rid of the problem. That if you can get rid of it, learn to get rid of the problem if you got the power and the authority to get rid of it. But if you can't, Lord, let me go ahead and figure out the next best move. I need to focus on you. And now I commend you to God and to the word of his grace, which is able to build you up and to give you the inheritance amongst all those who are sanctified. This is in the book of Acts. Now let me focus on the message because the whole purpose in God bringing me here was to help uplift somebody else out of their situation, to help them see it from a different perspective, to spread the gospel, to share some news, to encourage somebody to understand where they stand at this point in their time or at this point in their life. If I was to sit up there and dwell on what is this man doing, see, you get a moment to review what's going on. And then you get a moment to figure out if you're going to go left or right. You get a chance. I did the right thing by focusing on it for a second. And then I also gave more power to the right thing by focusing in on more positivity. I no longer have to worry about that person. But let me tell you, because the devil will come, man, he'll bring it back. See, I only paused that or took care of that situation for 30 minutes. In 30 minutes, if I'm still here, that problem gonna come right back. Which gives me the time to look at it again, to focus on it again, and figure out how I'm gonna give the energy or what type of energy I need to focus in on giving. You understand? For example, you know the bills come around every month. Yeah, it would, and you know what your check gonna look like if you in tune. But if you're not and you worried about just enjoying life, you might forget about that. But your attention gonna get right back to it. You gotta take care of preparation. God prepare you in advance. Some of y'all can read in between the lines on what it is that I'm saying. Because everybody that on here not going through the same thing. Get rid of the problem if you can. If not, don't worry about what you can't change. It said, now behold, I am going to Jerusalem, constrained by the Spirit, not knowing what will happen to me there. Move on faith, knowing that whatever you can't take care of, God will. Whatever you can't take care of, God will. Now, let's just say I can't take care of these people that's being trolls on my YouTube. Let God handle it. Because something gonna happen to where they need to pay attention to something that they need to pay attention to. If it's a kid, he might get in trouble by his father or his mother. for doing stuff he ain't supposed to do. If it's an adult, you just never know what God have prepared for those who are problems to other people. You sitting up there focusing on that, but you really need to be taking care of this. You ain't got time to be sitting up there doing something you ain't supposed to be doing when you can be focusing all your attention on this. You sitting up there operating out of demonic and devilish energy where you need to be focusing in on this. You sitting over there being malicious, retarded, remedial, evil. Sitting up there operating out of good sense and common sense and wisdom when you need to be over here taking care of your business. Nope, Sophia. Hey, Tunu. God bless you too, Kai. Walk by faith, not by sight. That's right, Frandy. You always walk by faith and not by sight. You don't got to worry about something that you can't take care of. But the devil will keep you so distracted with things that you can't take care of that it pulls you away from the actual blessing of rest and peace. The devil want to drain you so bad. He wants you to be low vibration. Because if you stay low vibrational, it takes you away from what God has already blessed you with, or what God is doing. He wants you to be distracted with trying to take care of the stuff that you can take care of. Because he know if he can get your attention, then it takes you away from what God already is preparing, or what God said you can have, or what God has already gave. So the best thing to do is focus a little bit on that to take care of how you can take care of that. Meaning, when the devil pull you in his direction, evaluate what's going on, and then know that you have the power and the authority to shift and walk away. The power and the authority to shift and know that everything is going to be okay. You don't need to be focusing your attention over there. It don't even matter. It's of no importance. If we get into the habit of doing this, we can do a lot. We can kill a lot of birds with one stone. Evaluate what the issue is for a minute and know that you don't have to focus on that. You can look at it, pay attention for a minute. Once you realize who it's from, the devil and demonic evil, the demonic entities, once you realize where that's coming from, you have a choice to either deal with it for a moment, give energy to it, or walk away, or not care, or shift your attitude, or shift your attention. For example, let's just say somebody was having a bad day. They mad about what's not going right in their life. They want to take it out on you. If you know that person, and you know they not always like that, be willing to forgive. But if you just met them and you don't know how they operate, evaluate it from what you know, but don't assume. If they're giving you little to work with, sometimes it's okay to fill it up with what you know, and sometimes it's not. But you have to have powerful discernment, powerful intuition grabbing, powerful, powerful spiritual gifts understanding, wisdom, knowledge to understand how to evaluate that situation. If you don't know, you don't know. But once you do know, using what you know and what you have, once you do know, make the sound decision to move in a direction that leaves you feeling better instead of sick. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. That's right, Danye. Jesus is my pilot, and my Bible is my passport, even though people get money they need to donate. I hear you, Sophia. Blessings, peace, and love to you all. Blessings, peace, and love to you all that needed to hear this message today, that understood what I was saying without me saying it. Because the whole purpose in listening to what it is that I'm saying, even if you only listen to what I'm saying, your spiritual gifts and how God is talking to you should have gave you what you needed to be able to see in between the lines. Because everybody's situation is different. Everybody going through something different. And if you got the message, then you understand that God was sending you here to help you fill in the gray areas and the cracks of what it is that you needed to understand from your spiritual standpoint. So always give God the glory when he sends somebody to say something or show you something to lift your spirit up or give you a word to stand on to fight the enemy and his attack, because he's very crafty in the ways that he try to bring you down mentally, physically, emotionally, and socially. He had you focusing in on thinking about something that you ain't got nothing to be sitting up there focusing and thinking about. This minute God revealed to you everything that he can change and happen to give and bless you with, that's all you need to be focused on. And then here come the devil. He want to pull you over in this direction to make it look. All that just take too much mental work. God ain't say forget about it, but God say don't dwell on it. Just don't dwell on it. It's pulling your energy down. It's making you less full of validity of life. It's not worth it. It say, and when we had parted from them and set sail, we came by a straight course to Kos, and the next day to Rose, and from there to partake. It's levels to happiness, to stay happy. It's levels to break down from that happiness to bring you low. You got to remember, you know how when y'all messing with a screen door, right? You're going to have to act like a screen door, a screen covering for the window. The window is your inner self, your inner spirit, your heart, your love. The inner, look at this. This is what God is giving me. Your inner self is the through the window. The outer self, there's a screen protecting the inner window. And you know you got to push those buttons in order to lift up, to let the air in, and lift out, and lift it down to shift how much of how much of yourself you going to expose yourself to, how much of your heart you going to reveal, how much you going to let in, how much positivity you going to let in, and how much negativity you going to let in. There's a screen door, on the side of the screen door, you got that leverage you got to pull in on this side, and you got that leverage you got to pull in on that side to pull it up. And then there's latches that hold it in place. The window was there, but there's a screen door where you can play with the how far you want to open up and how less you want to open it up. That's what that's what you need to protect. You need to use that, you know what I'm saying, on how much of your energy to give out. You got to use that on how much of your heart you open up to reveal. You know what I'm saying? You get to pick and choose. It takes too much to focus on negativity. It takes too much to focus on. It just takes too much. If you understand what I'm talking about, you understand what I'm talking about, because I got three different messages just off of that message alone. It's all about what you giving out and what you putting in, what you thinking and what you control as far as thinking and what you can't control as far as thinking. It's all about vibration. It's all about opening yourself up and knowing when to shut down, but not in a way that takes from you. You got to recognize what the devil is doing to you, trying to drain you and keep you sad. Like, no, don't nobody want to do that. And sometimes when you're not careful, you could be pulling yourself down to that space because you're not getting your way. All the promises fulfilled from all holy books. Frandy, go ahead and say what you was about to say. How do I go back? Long story short, you can't stay there. You can't stay in that negative energy. You can't stay in dwell on what's not going right. You can't sit up in your emotions because you wanted something to go your way. I know most of you, because I'm picking this up. I know most of you like, man, why every time I get so close, it always seems like something go wrong, because you can't control somebody else and how they behave. And because rejection is God's protection. And you be like, well, dang, I thought it was good. Like, I thought, yeah, sometimes the devil will present you a beautiful chocolate cake, nice and beautiful, and it look good from a distance, but in the inside, it's full of doo-doo. It's full of stuff that can destroy you. It's stuff that stink, stuff that can kill you, stuff that's not right. It could be good. And then you got to think about this too. Everybody not as spiritually strong as you are. Everybody don't have the strength that you have. Everybody don't have the strength that you carry from God. Everybody don't have the wisdom that you have, the knowledge you have. It's people that be getting toe up. The devil be like, oh, God sent you a blessing. I'm finna come destroy you. All the things that that person haven't healed, all the things that they, because when you're not spiritually inclined, my baby, man, God will come and tear your whole foundation up and have you running wild, have you acting evil, have you moving in fear, have you thinking about everything that didn't go right. You know what I'm saying? Have you thinking of focusing on stuff you don't need to be focusing on? When you're not spiritually protected or you haven't asked God for protection, the devil will bring in so many distractions. He will have you pulling back stuff from years ago that you ain't never even healed in your life. Don't even matter no more. But yet you sitting up here focusing on it. He man, he's so crafty, I'm telling you. He's very crafty. He's very crafty. He'll find a way to get his way. He'll find a way to make you feel some type of way about something that you don't even need to control. You got to be careful. That's why it's good to pray for people, because a lot of people are not as strong as you are. So you got to be careful, because not a lot of people can see things from your point of view. You know what I'm saying? You got to pray for people. And sometimes when people say, I'm going to pray for you, that don't mean they praying for you. They praying for you. Meaning they ain't even putting no protection up in the air for you. Because they just as slow and dumb, don't even know nothing as you do. In the moment of knowing that you got the power and authority. But they understand it in a different way. They know they got power and authority by not helping you prosper. But that's not something you need to worry about if you're a believer of God. Acknowledge it for what it is and then walk away. You get to say how much energy you want to put into it. You get to say if you want to deal with it or not. Once you acknowledge the problem, you have the means to let it go, leave it alone, entertain it. 9 times out of 10, you ain't gotta entertain it. Let it be known. Not today, say. Not today. I ain't got time. I don't got time to be sitting up here worried about something I can't control. And if you gotta grieve in the process after you make your decision, that's okay. It's okay. Hmm. God is so good. Sometimes all you got to do is just go talk to somebody about it. So that way you can release what it is that you hold. And it's a blockage there in your heart. You got to talk to somebody. You got to go sit with somebody that understands. Sometimes if you don't know you need to talk about it, it's going to stay bottled up in your chest. Something about when you open your mouth up and you talk to Jesus, or God send you a friend to talk to, or an auntie you can call, or a relative you can call, or a coworker that you can just talk to, or somebody randomly off the street. You don't know the power of God directing you to help release something that you don't need to hold on to. That's powerful. God moving mysterious ways just as well as the devil. But God power over your life is way more important. You ever be dealing with something at home and in the street or on the streets, find somebody to talk to. God will send somebody to talk to you. You be like, hey, let me ask you something. Because I remember when I was young, I used to do this, and this is what God has given me. When I was younger, I used to deal with, like, I used to have a problem with my boyfriend or something at the time. And I don't know why. I know why this is coming up, because this means something. When I was younger, I didn't have nobody to talk to. I always prayed about the situation, but there was always like this little knot in my chest, like something in my chest, to where like I was holding in what was going on that I couldn't talk to nobody about. And I'm remembering as if it's yesterday. I'm not going through this situation now, but follow me here, follow me. But there was this feeling of a blockage in my heart. Like I needed to get it off my chest. I needed to open up. Like I didn't know I needed to open up, but every time I talked about it to a stranger, or every time that I got like spoken, asked questions about what I was pondering in my head, asking questions that I didn't have questions to, and God was using that person as a vessel to be able to show me a different way of seeing it, or giving me the advice. If you ask the right questions, you can get the right answers. If you ask God the right questions, you can get the right answers. God will send angels, people that operate in obedience and that operate out of love, to come and help you in the at the times that you need help. The first living creature like a lion, the second living creature like an ox, the third living creature with the face of a man, and the fourth living creature like an eagle in flight. The different levels of breaking down. It's levels to this. It's levels to being happy. It's levels to being sad. Like that screen door that I was talking about, you get to pick and choose on what you let in and what you let out. Every time I talk, or if I couldn't call my daddy and ask him about something that I was going through, then I will always go and talk to somebody off the streets, because I don't know what was in me at the time to the curiosity was there. Meaning, I don't know, I'm a people's person, so I'll talk to anybody. If I need questions that I don't have no answers to, I would ask somebody off the street if I'm being guided to go ask. So if I feel like, if I let's for example, let's just say something wasn't going right. If I'm guided to come to you and ask you, I'm gonna ask you. I get I That's how I got a lot of help back in the day. As I remember it, I asked them something like, "So, can I ask you can I ask you a question? Can I just get your advice on something?" And people be willing to help. People be willing to help. So I'm just bringing up a scenario. If some, and I said this before, if I was going through something at home and I was having a problem or something, what was more so? I asked them. I can't think of a problem. I'll ask them randomly, if I'm guided to ask, what do you think about buying a car and okay, let's just say this. What do you think about buying a new car and and leasing the car? If I genuinely wanted to know that, and I'm guided to ask that person will give me the best advice that they went through, or what they know, that helps you be able to get what you need to feel at peace, or to solve a problem from within. So, for example, let's just say one of you come to me and say, I've been dealing with this situation my whole life, and I just don't understand why I'm going through what it is that I'm going through. What would you do about this situation? You know, what would be your advice, or what would be your take on how to handle this, because I just been going through this my whole life, and I just don't see another way on about going about it, because I'm like, at this point it's just like I don't understand it. Like, what do you think about this? And because you trusted me to give you an answer, I'm gonna give you the best advice on what I feel God is telling me to say to you, based off whatever situation it is. And based off of what I'm saying, 9 times out of 10, by me being led in a positive way, meaning no harm, not trying to cause confusion of any sort, I can help you release what it is that you've been bottling up and holding close to your chest. A breakthrough of some sort can then be discovered. You just gotta be open to what you hear. And 9 times out of 10, when you're vulnerable and you really want to know, you end up coming close or experiencing a breakthrough to getting what it is that you need. Just depends on the right time in your life for it to happen for you. I know every time that I went to a stranger, I got the answers I needed. I moved to a new city and I had to go to court, and I was in a place where you wouldn't even get court information from. And I walked up to these people and I said, "How y'all doing?" I was like, "Can I ask you something? How do you mail this off?" And they was like, "Oh, this about this? Oh man, I deal with them. You make sure you do this and you make sure you do this, because if you don't do this, then they gonna do this, and then that's not, man, you don't want to go through that." But God already had revealed to you to go and take care, or God already revealed to you a warning of some sort. You just didn't have the details to fill in what it is that you was feeling, you know? But now he leads you to somebody who could open up and explain what you felt but didn't have proof to see. It's moving, walking in faith and not by sight. You knew that if you didn't take care of that, you knew that it couldn't be good if you didn't move the way you were supposed to move. But God was confirming through others or through somebody exactly what it is that you needed to know. To be at peace, to be high vibration, to be positive, to be set free from what the devil was trying to get you to hold on close to drain. Good morning, Ricardo. They just shall live by faith. Kaylin, you right. 9 times out of 10, when you trusting somebody to help you with or through a situation, you are walking by faith and using your sight. I'm definitely fighting my demons this morning. That's why God had me come on here, this morning to help explain whatever it is He's putting on my heart to explain. Sometimes it may sound like rambling, but I'm not even trying to figure out the message. I'm just using right now, like I never come on here with a plan. But right now, whatever God has given me to speak about, that's all I can do. And it might sound like rambling to somebody, but I know that I'm helping somebody with a breakthrough right now in their life. I know it because I trust God when He say move. Thanks for the words of wisdom. You're so welcome, Ricardo. It might not make sense to me because I'm not in no situation, but I know that when I do what God tell me to do and I just speak on stuff that's coming up to speak about, I know it's helping somebody. And that's another reason why I'm here. Because at the end of the day, I need God to continue to get the glory. God has always helped me through any and every situation that I ever been in my life. He's always lifted me up. He always brought me to where I could be able to understand. He always gave me what it was that I needed to be able to prosper. He always have. God ain't never leave me, make me, or let me fail. And it's hard when you going through it by yourself, but you ain't never by yourself when you got God on your side. All you gotta do is just keep running to positivity. All you gotta do is just keep running to God. All you gotta do is just keep fighting to get whatever piece of joy, happiness, and strength that you need, so that way you won't keep being low or be brought low. I can't stand when the devil be doing that to people. You know what I'm saying? You would be so high vibrational, so happy, and then he'll have you focusing on stuff that will keep your spirit low. Excuse me. Be like, man, you keep fighting. You keep fighting. You keep having hope. You keep having faith. You keep praying to God, even when you don't feel like it. A lot of times you don't even be feeling like praying to God. A lot of times you just don't be wanting to just do that because you feel like you shouldn't even be having to go through what it is that you're going through. But little do you know, it's a season for why God got you going through what you're going through, because the next blessing you're gonna be so brought up in character, so strong, so magnificent, so polished, so excited about life, so open and free to receive what it is God have for you. You're gonna be so happy that the next thing that He bringing you to out of this moment and where you don't want to be, or in this time where you just don't want to be positive. You just want to be low vibrational. You just want to be down. You just want to stay in the bed. You just want to just give up. You just want to play into the negative thoughts. You just want to cuss everybody out. You just want to just get mad and go off on people. At that moment, when you going through that, or when that moment when you feel like just doing that, you got to pull yourself up out of that. You got to, because there ain't nobody but the devil, baby. There ain't nobody but the devil trying to keep you in your head, keep you focusing on stuff that you don't need to be focusing on, trying to make you be lazy, to not get up and go do what you need to do. You got to still be on autopilot. Some of y'all at work don't even want to be at work right now. Tired of this job. If you dwell on the negative because you want to be in the bed, you want to go to sleep, you don't want to do nothing else. If you dwell on that, you gon' you gonna miss out on you having a full check. You're gonna miss out on not having to worry about something else. Like, sometimes you gotta go through autopilot. Sometimes you do. You're not gonna always be happy all day, every day. But you can if you work for it. Say a prayer for the people in Iran. People, please, they're under pressure by a terrorist regiment in Iran and trying to be free. How you get closer to God? By praying. Praying and being around fellow. You got to go to church too. You got to be around believers who got more spiritual welfare fighting than you do. You be looking at, let me go to church because sister deacon, Cause Sister Powwow, she always at church fighting, and she always in the same spot. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? When you don't got strength, you can lean on other people's strength, but not to drain them to the point where you just depleting them and misusing them. No, you leaning on them for strength to be able to keep fighting, strength to be able to keep doing the right thing, strength to be able to continue to walk in joy and power and love. You know what I'm saying? Talk to him like he is your best friend, because he is. That's right, Cheryl. That's right, because he is. But when you don't get that strength, I mean, when you can't get all you need for yourself, you got to go around true believers who put the worship in you. Them warriors that God be putting in the church, that's going to help fight. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, you can go and cry in Sister Mary chest. What's wrong, baby? No, it don't even tell me. Just go ahead and just cry. Just cry. You go to the right mother of the church, she gonna hold your head close. You go to the right sister and you just hug them, and then, oh my God, the love, it be there. I'm going to church at 11 o'clock, y'all. Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to church at 11 o'clock today, for sure. Yep, it's only 9 o'clock right now. Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. Yeah, I got to learn more. I pray, but I don't go to church. Sometimes you need church. I ain't going to lie to you, man. It's the people that God tell you to go to church for. Like, I'm telling you, the right type of hug can have you feeling so relieved. Man, I'm telling you. I go to church, man, and whenever I'm guided to go to church and I can't, like, God give me the strength I need always by myself because I pray. But when I'm guided to go to church, because I got this childlike essence, this childlike, I got to stay high vibrational. I got this childlike, oh man, I'm about to go do this. I'm ready to take on the day type energy. You hear me? And when I go to church, God always fill me with the food I need to be able to go for the next week. It's like when you got church and you at a certain point, fellowship. Yeah, Cheryl, there you go. It's like when you get a kick out of fellowshipping and praising and worship. Man, I'm trying to tell you, man, you build up that spiritual bond, that spiritual bond with God in heaven, going to church. Man, I'm trying to tell you, man, can't nobody bring you down. When your spiritual meter is all the way at 100, because most of you is operating out of 35 to 50%. That's why you keep teeter tottering with your health meter, your meter of being happy one day and now you're sad the next. You got to go fellowship and praise and worship with people that does this on the daily, baby. That can be able to get it. You can definitely get what you need from the Lord when you pray and you by yourself and you read the Bible. But you can't not fellowship with people that man, let me tell you something. Okay? You need to go to church to fellowship with people. Even if don't think too much about them being fake. You ain't there for that. Yes, be careful and wear witches that be in church. But baby, it ain't nothing. If you believe in God the way you believe in God, God will bring you to the right chest to lay your head upon. The right person that will take care of you in the midst of whatever it is you need. God will send you to the right word to fuel your whole existence if you be obedient and open to listening. You got to be open to listen. What you need is to build up your spiritual meter to the point where anything the devil do, it ain't gonna take you off your square because your spiritual meter is so high, it cannot be shaken or changed. I'm going to church today. You hear me? A lot of false stuff, don't know what to believe. I believe in God and have faith, but I just don't know about the churches. If God not guiding you to go to church, don't go to church. But also believe this. If God is sending you to somebody that's telling you to go to church, don't let the devil block and hold you back from the blessings that you can give and get and receive. It's called breakthrough and deliverance. You might need that deliverance. And the devil gonna use fear to keep you by listening to other people gossip. He do that. He do that. God will be showing you and telling you you need something. But because you done heard something, I just was talking about this in the beginning. Just was talking about this in the beginning, but with a different storyline. Don't let the devil hold you back from a breakthrough because the devil know that if you get the breakthrough you need, he loses his power over you and will. But if you're not guided to go to church, you need something else. You need to pray. You need to open up your Bible. I'm telling you, going to church, going to the right church, you will get every single thing you need. I'm going today. I'm going. I'm going to get my fellowship and praise and worship on. The stuff that I don't talk about or I can't talk about with nobody but God, God finna give me the right word I need to be able to experience that breakthrough that I need to be able to stand and be strong for other people and myself. Because if I ain't right, how I'm gonna help you? If I can't face my own demons, how can I help you? If I can't get my own answers in the way I'm supposed to get my answers, how I'm gonna help you? So I gotta go and get what I need in order to be a vessel and God to continue to keep using me in the way He need to be using me to help y'all. I need to go get my food, my wisdom, my knowledge, the understanding of whatever it is I need to understand at that moment He's telling me to go to church. I got enough by myself, but I'm going for a breakthrough. Okay? If you understand, you understand. Blessings. Hello? Hello, hello. You can hear me now? Why can't I hear? It sounds like the sound gone. Mm-hmm. Hey, Himpo.